everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of With All Due Respect. We are your hosts. I'm Ryan Shead. That's Marcus Flowers. Brother, how are we doing?
The State of the Union today with Old Flowers is I am tired because we had a good night in Georgia last night.
Yeah, we did.
Probably are aware, which most people in the country are aware. We had a special election to replace Marjorie Taylor Greene in Georgia's 14th congressional district. So I was out doing some watch parties last night. Sean Harris is in a runoff with Clay Fuller.
Bro, that's the best news this year. For me. Because
me too.
You know,
seat that I ran for.
That's where I was going with it. I think because I was fortunate enough to kind of get to know you behind closed doors during your run, and I ran for a little bit, and it's like, I saw the steps that you made, in shifting that 15, 20 point red district into a more moderate district, and here we are. Literally, it's purple. It's as purple as can be now, because it's almost down the line. But Sean Harris, we've had him on the show. I think we're going to have him on again. I hope so, because I love talking to him.
Next week, it looks like, so
perfect.
Talk about it.
Because, again, I believe April 10th or April 11th will be the runoff vote, right?
It might be the 7th.
Okay, we'll say, hey, pay attention. It's going to be the first week, basically, of April
7th.
So
April 7th.
If you're in Georgia 14th, you got to vote. Get your butt out and vote, because we can take this seat. We can take Marjorie Taylor Greene's seat. And then once we get somebody like Sean Harris in there, and we can show the people of the district, hey, Democrats aren't here to mess you over. We're here to help everybody. We're here to take care of the district. That it might not swing back as far as it did. So let's focus on these. And for all the haters out there, especially the ones that call yourself liberals and Democrats, if I see you post that we can't win this and to send your money somewhere else, I am going to trash you publicly and then block you. Because we can win this race. We need to send resources. And by telling people not to donate, you're literally helping the other party.
You're tying one hand behind our back.
Thank you.
That's what you'd be doing effectively. Because I can guarantee you, this Clay Fuller guy is Trump's hand-picked guy. And they're going to throw a ton of money into this race, which is good. Because it's forcing them to spend money where they shouldn't have to spend money.
Good point.
It is forcing them to spend money. So if we can deplete that war chest that they've got right now on the Republican side,
it all matters.
It gives us a leg up, and I think we can win this district. It's about turning people out. It's about getting people out to vote, and I guarantee you that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 4 weeks, helping Sean and that team turn out the vote, because we can definitely do it. The numbers were a little bit low yesterday, but it's a turnout game now.
Yep.
And, a lot of Republicans aren't paying attention. They're probably not even going to show up because Trump's not on the ballot, but his hand-picked guy is on the ballot against a damn good Democrat who can win this district. I mean, he led last night. He flipped a red county that he shouldn't have won blue last night. So,
And it's so close, guys. So please go vote. Go send some money if you can. And if you want to know more about him before you support him and send money, again, we did an interview with him. So go check out our Substack or one of our YouTubes. You'll see it there. And that way you can get to know Brigadier General Sean Harris, because after speaking with him, I have zero doubt in my mind that he is exactly what the people of Georgia 14 need. With that, we've had some great guests from Georgia on here. And we've had Dr. Terry Ruiz, who's running for school superintendent here in Arizona. But I'm really excited to bring on our next guest because she's another candidate here in Arizona, and I'm supporting her. You're about to find out all the reasons I support her. But on top of everything, I think men have been running this shit long enough. And I think a lot of us have screwed it up. Not all of us, but a lot of us. And I think it's time we start handing it to the women. Let's see what they can do, because so far we're 250 years in, and if we want to see 251, we better start paying attention.
Absolutely.
With that, I have Lisbeth Arescurenaga. Please I practiced that for an hour and I still messed it up. Please tell us.
It's Lisbeth Arescurenaga.
Thank you.
Arescurenaga.
And I will butcher it again. So I'm just going to call you Lisbeth from here on out.
Yes. So, we can practice my last name.
But I look forward to Arizona, especially those in your district, having to learn how to pronounce it when you're their representative.
Yeah, I've been telling people actually at the doors, if you cannot pronounce my name, that's the one that you should be voting for.
There you go.
Your name should be at the top of the ballot. Yes, you say so. Vote for number 1 on the ballot.
There you go.
Be for the one that you can't pronounce.
But the nice thing too is that your brand works as Lisbeth. You know what I mean? Because it's not a daily name, so it kind of sticks out. So no,
I love that name,
Thank
Lisbeth,
you.
because I'm a huge fan of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Her name was Lisbeth.
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. I was thinking my wife likes this show. I think it's actually called Lisbeth. It's like it's this she's a white chick, goes around solving crimes and stuff. But yeah, my wife loves the show.
I'm gonna have to check it out. I was actually talking to my dad yesterday because I like Dragon Ball Z, and I found a name when I was doing my phone banking yesterday, and somebody was named Goku.
No way.
Goku.
Yeah, so if you can see right here, like in my bag.
Oh, that's so cool.
I told my dad, you could have named me Goku. See?
It could have been so much better. Yeah. Now here's my question though: when you called that person, did you guys end up having a conversation?
No, a lot of people are not answering the call, so I just leave a voice message and introduce myself. So, but I would love to.
Yeah, I would have left a message like, "Oh, by the way,
been trying to get you off the phone
I need
call."
to have a conversation with the parents, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God. So for those of you though who may not know our guest, one of the things I think is cool is you were born in Peru. You came here at 15, and I definitely want to hear a little bit more about that. But for those of you just getting introduced, she's also a proud mom, licensed mental health specialist, social worker, who has dedicated her career to helping families heal, navigate complex systems, and access opportunity. Her work has included supporting unaccompanied minors, providing care to cancer patients and their families, and advocating for communities facing challenges in housing, education, and healthcare. And that's why Lisbeth is running for the Arizona House to represent Glendale and Maryvale and ensure every family in LD24 has the support they need to thrive.
All right. Lisbeth didn't just come here at 15. She came here at 15 on her own. I want to hear more about that, Lisbeth.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to hear that story. That sounds like
let's start there.
Yeah.
Fascinating, and took a lot of courage, first and foremost.
Yeah, thank you. So I came here actually with 2 cousins, and one stayed in LA, and the other one, actually one moved to Las Vegas, and the other one moved to Texas. So I ended up, my original plan was to go to LA and pretty much just learn English and then go back to my country. But then I ended up in Arizona because I have my sister. I was 15 and she was 18 at that age. Okay. So she pretty much, you know, my visa would expire within 1 month. So I had to make the decision, or either I stay or I go back to Peru. And, you know, something about me, and I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't know how to take no for an answer.
Good in politics.
So, and I've been like now that I'm an adult and I'm a mental health clinician, I'm like, man, since I was little, it was very tough for my parents to tell me no. So I didn't want to go back to Peru pretty much without me accomplishing anything. So at that point, I was like, nope, I have to stay and I need to accomplish my goals. And then when I'm ready, I could go back to Peru. So I made the decision of staying, and I did overstay my visa. So I stayed as an undocumented individual. So I was undocumented for actually 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I stayed, and then I did have my daughter when I was very young. I got pregnant when I was 19, and I was meanwhile I graduated high school. I actually barely graduated high school. It was a cultural shock for me to come here to this country. For example, I'm a big soccer fan, and you know, my dad and we were very close. My dad is a retired police officer in Peru, and no matter how busy he was, he would always show up to my soccer games. No matter what, my dad will always be there. So when I moved here, I had no one to see me go play soccer. And that really affected me. That really impacted me. I was playing soccer with girls that didn't speak Spanish and I didn't speak English. So there's a saying in Spanish, it's called amarrabola, and it's when you don't pass the ball, you just play on your own. So I was very that. So the girls learned to say pass it, pásalo in Spanish. So yeah, after a while, like it was, it was very hard for me to keep on playing. I didn't have the support. I didn't speak the language. The girls were rude to me because I didn't speak the language. So I was like, I hated high school, to be honest. So I graduated earlier, and then I didn't care for graduating, to be honest. So I did graduate, and then I was working as a server, as a bartender.
Just send me the diploma.
Yeah. My dad actually, I graduated because my dad said, "Okay, I'm traveling to go see you walk," and then I was like,
cool. Yeah.
I gotta
do it now. Yeah.
So I got pregnant when I was very young, and that's when I was like, okay, what is it? What I'm gonna do for myself, and especially for my daughter.
Yeah.
What is it gonna be for her if I tell her you need to go to get your degree, your bachelor's, your master's? Like, she's gonna tell me why. You didn't.
Yeah.
Right. So I am the person that likes to lead by example. So I was like, I gotta do it. So I did. Went back to college. I got my associates in psychology. It took me a long time because I did not have legal status. And then when I was able to
it's not cheap either. Yeah.
It was not. I wasn't able to go to more than 2 classes at a time because I will have to pay as an out-of-state student.
Yep.
Yeah, but I did. I got my associates, and then I got my bachelor's, and then a lot of crazy things happened, and I decided to get my master's.
You went from barely graduating high school to
still not taking no for an answer.
I
like that.
It took me 7 years, almost 7 years, to get my master's, and I wanted to quit so many times.
I bet.
And I was like, nope, I gotta finish it. I gotta do this. Yeah.
Awesome.
We're here now.
So before we get into any of the questions, though, I just wanted to, just on a personal note, I just wanted to thank you, because there was a point where I needed a social worker because my dad had been on hospice, and after I lost him, I just needed somebody to talk to and kind of guide me through that grieving process, and just kind of tell me that the things that I was feeling and everything was normal for what I was dealing with. And then of course I got to spend the last 2 weeks with him, and he was in the hospital. And the day I flew home was when I found out how bad it really was. And the nurses, even when the floor was shut down and they weren't supposed to have visitors, they let me come in and sleep next to him. They had like this pull-out couch, because they knew that I hadn't gotten to see him and that I was home from the military. So they would just sneak me in the floor every night. Mm-hmm. And that was time that I got with them that I wouldn't have had it not been for them, allowing me in there and giving me that time, which is... you can't put a price on that, especially after they're gone. So, and then on top of it, I'm bipolar. I was diagnosed correctly in 2018. So I was like 38 before I was diagnosed correctly. Mm-hmm. And it definitely was an easy road, still rough days. But, again, because of folks like you who help normalize mental health treatment and help normalize talking about it, and shining a light on the fact that it's not just 1 or 2 people. You probably have people in your life that are struggling with it and they've never told you, or if you find out, it's like, oh, that makes things that you said or do kind of make more sense now. Mm-hmm. So thank you, because you've come from such an amazing background and story, and you've come here, you have your daughter, and you're still choosing to serve the people of your district, the people of Arizona, but what I love about it is, like you said, you're not just showing your daughter by example, you're showing all of us that you're qualified for the job, but more importantly, you're willing to put in the work, because it's about banging on doors, it's about writing legislation, and it's about being on the floor and arguing. So I definitely look forward and hope that the people in your district make the right choice. I wish I could vote for you, but you definitely have my support from down here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's super important to keep on showing up for each other, you know?
Absolutely, especially right now.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
so that kind of gets us into my first question, which is why we go to the state capitol with the mission of representing those that voted for us and the people in our districts, whether they voted for us or not. We also carry our own agendas and our own community goals along with us. So, with that in mind, what does representing District 24 mean to you personally?
Community, you know, here in District 24 in Maryville and South Glendale, it's mainly Hispanic families. I have a great time at knocking at people's doors. This Sunday, I was actually canvassing in Maryville, and man, like people gave us burritos, tortas. They offered me ceviche.
When you came to the doors?
Actually, two of my canvassers came back with burritos and tortas.
Oh my gosh.
Park. Yeah. And when I was knocking at people's doors, like it means family, you know, it means community, it means support.
Yeah.
Like I came into this family and they were having a party and they were asking me if I needed anything. They were telling me, you want a beer? I was like, I love to have a beer right now, but I cannot. I have to knock at 40 more doors. I'll come back, you know? And they these are working families.
Yeah.
You know, these are people that don't have much for themselves, but yet they still give you what they have.
Yep.
You know, so that's what it means to me. Like Maryville and South Glendale, it's the next generation. The people who are gonna come one day and work for the people who come after, because that's how we are. That's what we see. So yeah, I love to be in Maryville and South Glendale. Actually, my partner grew up in Maryville herself, and she has drove me through her neighborhood so many times. So I feel like I'm part of it as well. And my daughter's here, you know. My daughter's going to a public school. My daughter's creating her own community here. So that's what it means to me.
Yep. Well, that leads us into our next question. Like I mentioned earlier, we were fortunate enough to have Dr. Terry Ruiz on. And, you know, again, if you guys go support her, if you live in Arizona, go sign her petition. I think she still needs, or did she turn them in? I don't know if she turned in her signature yet or not. Sign her petition, go send her money, whatever.
I think she's good, but
I think she might be, but go send her money. Because remember, folks, we can't win elections without money. People like Lisbeth, they can't win without buying material, buying yard signs, all of it. It all costs money. And I'm pretty sure if
it costs money to get around and knock those doors in those neighborhoods.
So. Yep, for sure. And I'm pretty sure if you look at her campaign stuff, it's going to have that nice little union bug on it that we like to talk about on this show, which means that it costs double or triple what Republicans are paying for their handouts, and we're supporting higher paying jobs by supporting the print shops. So when you send us money and donate, you're also supporting high paying jobs, which you can't say for Republicans. With that in mind, Dr. Terry Ruiz, she kind of dove deep into what she sees in our public education system that we can fix here in Arizona. So I was wondering what you're hearing when you talk to parents and teachers in District 24. Like what's their number one frustration about the current state of public education here in Arizona?
Lack of funding, it's one. Classrooms are overcrowded. You know, as you can see the news, more and more schools are closing. So they're putting all of these kids in classrooms, and teachers cannot handle so many students. Lack of school counselors. I don't know if you guys were aware, but while I was going to school, while I was getting my master's, they told us that there is one counselor per around 300 students. So imagine how hard that is, right? And me as a parent, my daughter goes to a public school, like I mentioned, and me as a parent, for example, what really frustrates me a lot is that my daughter is playing flag football, for example, and they didn't have enough money to buy uniforms, so they have to share the uniforms. Like, we're living in one of the richest countries in the world. Yeah. Why are our kids struggling with these things?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So those are the things that I keep on hearing when I'm like knocking at doors, talking to people, talking to parents, talking to teachers. Teachers are not getting paid enough. They have to be buying supplies out of their pocket. it shouldn't be like that. Like, think about this, right? Their teachers spend 8 hours a day with our kids.
Yep.
They should be well compensated.
Yeah, you know, somebody put it to me the other day that really made it make sense. I was a contractor for the federal government, and when you'd walk in, we had a cabinet. It was full of pens, paper, pads of paper, anything that I would need to do my job. And I was like, he said, now imagine if you went into work every day and they said, you got to bring your pads of paper, you got to bring your pens, you got to bring your own staplers, and it's like, when you just think of it like that, it's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. And it's like, that's what we're asking teachers to do.
It's all taxpayers who provided those pens and papers for you to do your job, for me to do my job as a government official, and I was a defense contractor at one point as well. But Lisbeth, when it comes to education, where do you think the state gets it wrong, and what would you push as a legislator to change on day one?
Man, definitely bring more fundings to our schools, and bring more money for teachers, for supplies. I do think when I try not to see the news right now, because especially everything happening in the House of Representatives, because it gives me a lot of frustration.
It's overwhelming.
I'm trying to stay positive. Like,
you need to focus on your race.
Yeah. So I'm trying to stay positive, and to me, it's like, why are we wasting our time trying to name a freeway? You change the name of a freeway, or like having our plates
Charlie Kirk license plates.
Or a special name when our people
vanity projects. Yeah.
Yep. Our people on the streets, they're so worried about losing their health care.
Yeah.
They cannot pay for their gas. Like, it's just so frustrating, like, to me, to have to see that while, like, I'm experiencing all of this myself. Like, my daughter, they had to be doing fundraising for her flag football team. Why? Like, no, they should be focusing their time on training, like spending time with their classmates, like.
And the answer isn't shutting these programs down, by the way. These are essential for kids and interact, like everything you were just saying, kids interaction, or the community, the friendships. I started coaching soccer because we do virtual through K-12 program, so it's still monitored by the state. They still do standardized testing. It's just, instead of going to a physical school, they sit in front of their computer. They have 30 classmates or whatever, and they see them every day. They got teachers, so it's all the same. It's all structured. It's just, instead of going to school, and it started because, one, we were afraid of like the active shooter drills, like the trauma that brings.
Yeah.
And two, it was after COVID, and we just liked the lifestyle. Like, we were able to travel, like the kids could still do their school as long as we had internet. It's like, well, that's pretty much everywhere now, so we could go do whatever. So, but we've noticed the same things. It's like the classes are getting bigger, teachers are quitting because they're getting overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And meanwhile, we've got money to, bomb other countries unnecessarily, and like you said, the Charlie Kirk stuff was insane in the face of everything that we're dealing with, not just as a country but a state. And but I just have to say real quick, it was a stupid political move because they knew Katie Hobbs was going to veto it, which she did, and I'm going to vote for her again because she vetoed that. And they wanted to be like, see, she doesn't want to honor Charlie Kirk. It's like, yeah, but how masterful was it that in that veto, she didn't mention the dude's name one time?
Yeah.
So, just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, and it's a waste of time for us to just be going in circles, and this is causing frustration to our voters. And what's happening? A lot
100%.
of people are saying, why are we going to vote for if nothing changed, if nothing happens, right? So to me, like, I try not to watch the news because I'm like, I cannot believe they're saying me. How you're so disconnected with reality.
It's meant to be a distraction anyway.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a waste of time, and it's a distraction to distract from the real issues that people are, fighting for,
or the real races that we need to be focused on.
Like, exactly. I mean, you're fighting for affordability and economic opportunities for your district.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see education playing a role in the things that you're fighting for?
Education is everything, and I have my hypothesis that they keep on trying to defund our schools because they want to keep us under-educated so they can do whatever they want.
100%.
Trump says he loves the poorly educated, so.
And knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
Amen.
The more, I always tell my kid, like, like argue, but with the real base. Like do your own research before. Don't believe everything
Good
that they
faith arguments. Yeah.
like even in school, right? Like even when it comes to talking about the Bible, like my daughter got like a comic Bible for her to learn more about, you know, the Bible, right? Because you do want to talk to people at their level. You want to understand where the other person is coming from, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they're trying to do that. You know, it's their purpose for them to do that because they do want them to make wrong decisions for a future. And yeah, when I'm having conversations with people at the doors, this comes out a lot. Like the only person that they do really recognize is our Senator Ortiz, but then they don't know what else is happening, right? So
Wow.
we do need to find ways for, especially within my district, to educate my community on what's happening and what laws might affect them directly, for example.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you said that because, you know, I'm a supporter of Senator Ortiz too. So it's really interesting to hear you say that because it's like, you know, that's who I see down here in Tucson a lot too. That's who I see online. But yeah, you're right. There's other, you know, she's just the senator. There's the House, you know, people under her, and there's a lot of leadership underneath her that's not getting the attention. So I'm glad you said that. That's important.
Yeah, she's very loved in my district. People ask me, "Are you running against her?"
All right. No. Not running against. Yeah.
We want her to stay there. I'm running because I want to be able to support her. I want to be able to. I don't think she should be doing everything on her own. Like so,
she needs coalition. She needs.
Yeah. She needs a team, you know, to step up. So yeah, everybody loves her. She's great.
Well, you know, she's doing again. You can't substitute doing the work. You can't substitute showing up. You can't, like, when I watch her speak on the floor, I'm like, and I've told her this personally, she's who we need at the table right now. Her type of leadership, because she doesn't pull punches. She doesn't, you know, and on top of it, she's like 5'1", so nobody's going to be intimidated over when she walks in, but they're probably going to be intimidated over when they walk out. And she's great, and I agree with you that we need to focus on getting people up at the state level here in Arizona that can work together, because we've been controlled by the Republicans for so long, you know, and they've been doing things like selling off our groundwater. Let's keep voting these people. She's running for re-election too, by the way, so send her some money as well. Yes. I think you guys are seeing a trend here. Send money to these great candidates that we're bringing on.
Skip that $7 coffee today and give us at least $5.
It all matters.
Every single dollar
make a big impact.
It does.
But why we're asking that, I think it's important that we acknowledge the housing and cost of living crisis that the whole country's facing, not just here in Arizona. Mm-hmm. And with that in mind, you're on the ground knocking the doors, as we keep saying. So again, what are you hearing that people are struggling with in terms of cost of living in your district?
Everything.
Everything.
One of the things that I have heard is they don't want ICE in our communities.
Okay.
And interesting enough, I'm going to tell you one of my experiences. I am very directional challenged, so when you see me canvassing, I'll just go around and around.
Hit the same door 2 or 3 times.
Didn't I just see you?
Yeah. So people look at me like, oh, when they're walking their dog, people are like, okay, lady, like, what are you trying to do? So meanwhile, I have had conversations with people and with some Republicans, and we agree on the fact that we don't want ICE in our communities.
Yeah.
This guy, he was a Republican, and he told me, I do not want ICE terrorizing my neighbors.
Yep.
Like, they are doing so much for me, for my family, and the fact that they're scared of leaving their home just because of the way they look, it is very concerning.
Yep.
So I tried to convince him to go into independent and sign my petition.
Exactly.
But that didn't happen.
But you know what? Doesn't mean he won't vote for you.
Yes, he said he will be voting for me in the general elections. And you know, once again, it's coming in and trying to understand where they're coming from. What I have noticed, and I could be wrong, this is my personal opinion, is a lot of people are Republicans because it's a cultural thing. Like their parents are, their grandparents, but yet they still don't align their values with what's happening right now.
Yep. It's like for me being a Catholic. It's like I'm still a Catholic, but do I I don't agree with their position on abortion or women or it's like, why am I still a Catholic? Yeah, it's kind of like that.
So that's one of the biggest concerns. Like people are like, we don't want. When I ask them, what do you want me to advocate for? We don't want ICE in our communities, and we're like, okay, yeah, we're working on it.
I mean, I'm a white dude, and I don't want them here in our community here in Tucson.
I mean, I know people are seeing the news and seeing what's happened with ICE in places like Minneapolis, and they understand that the whole lie about we're going to go for the bad guys, the worst of the worst, and you're seeing everyday average American citizens being terrorized by the federal government. I know that could be a huge issue for especially like communities of yours. But let's talk a little bit about housing prices and things of that nature in your community. Are you hearing any concerns about that? And are you getting any? Because I know, like here in Georgia, we hear a lot about these outside developers coming in and buying up so much property and then jacking up rents. And we're actually looking at getting some legislation to stop that.
Artificial inflation.
Those things in your community.
Yeah, so the prices are increasing like by a lot, and the concern is for the people that come after me, right? For example, I was lucky to buy my place like 8 years ago at a very affordable price, and right now it's like 4 times more of what it was. And so my worry and the worry from my community is what's going to happen to our kids that they're 22, 25, what's going to happen, because we're doing what we're supposed to do, right, to reach the American dream. Pretty much
the one that we were sold. Yeah.
We're going to school, we're getting our high education, we're getting our bachelor's, we're getting our master's. Like even today with the career that I have, I will not be able to buy a home on my own.
Yep, we couldn't buy our house today. We couldn't afford it.
It's like $3,000. I don't want to have to work just to pay my mortgage. Like I wanna be able to live my life. I want to
go places.
So that is a huge concern. So a lot of families are having their children come back home after they go to college because they have to have roommates. 4 or 5 roommates.
My kids are still in the house, so yeah.
I think it's going to become very common here in the next 10 years.
Yeah, and then we get it. They're not inheriting the same world that we inherited. I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a little bit older.
Same opportunities either.
Don't ever call me boomer because I'm not quite there yet. But they didn't inherit the same country that we inherited, and it's up to us to get it back to where they can have a future. I mean, I think the way where we get it wrong in this country, and I lived, overseas for 20 years of my adult life. You work to live. You shouldn't have to live to work.
I'm telling you.
Or live to work. I mean, that's where we get it wrong.
And I think that
Europe, they get it right. They have a lot more vacation days than we do, and they go do their 36 hours a week, if that, and they go on their vacations regularly. Most Americans don't know what vacation is. You hear all these commercials talking about all these unused vacation days because people simply can't afford it.
Well, I think that's a huge reason that we have the mental health crisis we do here in America right now. Because why mine stems from genetics, I think a lot of other people's mental health issues stems from
the system and the way it is.
Exactly.
It is on people.
It's because of what you're having to deal with. It's not because of something up here. And so I think that's a very important distinction to make, because just because you're dealing with mental health issues doesn't mean you're going to need to be medicated your entire life, like myself.
Well, we lost Ryan there, but I get what he was talking about. You're back with us, Ryan?
Guys, it just shut the stream down.
The stream is gone again? Okay. Wow. That's the second week in a row. Sorry about that, Lisbeth.
Oh my God. I can't believe it just did that again. I'm sorry. It did it when we were interviewing Bernard Taylor last week. It is. I've been using this for 2 years. I have never had this.
I've never seen it happen before.
Okay, so luckily, because we've been through this, we know what to do.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to hit record and just pick off where we were. And then what we'll do is we're going to go back and splice it together, and then we'll just use it as a post as a whole.
Let us know when you're ready, Keith.
Wait a minute. It's still saying we're live on my side, though. Are we still live?
It's gone.
I can ask.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's still live. Well, if we're still live, can somebody tell us in the comments?
Are we still live?
Lisbeth is connected, still up for him. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll continue.
We didn't shut down.
Thank God. that
Anyway,
didn't
just to
happen.
give everybody a heads up, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, sorry.
Last week the stream shut down in the middle of a show, so we
I'm
had
glad I didn't say anything I should
got
have.
everything. People get it.
But
So
we are going into mental health,
we don't
and again, as somebody who's bipolar, I focus a lot on this in legislation. I've seen things from this administration. They didn't want to go after gun rights, but now all of a sudden they're going to use mental health as a reason to take people's guns. It's like, just because I'm responsible and take medication and go get the help I need, does that? So I pay close attention to the people running for office and what they say about mental health. So with knowing that people are, like we just said, one paycheck away from complete financial disarray and possible homelessness, what are the potential legislative solutions, and how long do you think it will realistically take for us to see any kind of positive outcome?
I think I'm going to go back to, once again, we do have to bring that money to our schools, because I'm going to tell you the truth. It's easier to focus and work on prevention than to actually, deal with the problem when it's already there, right?
Yeah.
So I think to be able to bring more money to our schools, to have, for example, school counselors that can help our youth, or mental health therapists in our schools, I think that it's going to be, bring money for our kids to play sports, for example, music, art. All of it has a direct correlation with our mental health, all of it. But people cannot afford none of these.
Yeah.
Even in community centers, when you have two jobs, where you're trying to pay rent, you're trying to be able
Groceries.
to food, gas, all of it, you think you're gonna worry about, okay, maybe my kid should be doing some art. Let me put that money into my kids art program or whatever. It's not gonna happen. So we do need to be able to focus on bringing more money to our schools, focus on prevention, and bring money into our community centers, for example. I do see teenagers and children who have ADHD, who have depression, anxiety, and this is what I tell the parents: you need to be able to put your kid, he needs to be eating healthy.
Yeah.
Because diet is a huge impact. It impacts your mental health.
Yeah.
Then the second one, you should be putting your kid into in a sport. Like you need to find a passion for your child. But there's no money for that, right?
Yeah.
It's easy for me to tell you that, but there's no money for that.
But that's what I was going to tell you earlier with the kids in virtual is I started coaching soccer, which is the one sport I knew nothing about, by the way, because our son wanted to play.
I coached it as well. Come on. But I played in high school.
Thank God we've gotten a lot better. But that was the biggest reason that we did it, was because we keep them home for virtual, so we needed to go find that interaction and the friendships that they could go build somewhere else. Yeah. But like you said too, we do 8-week cycles, and every cycle is $180. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you're coughing up almost $200 every 8 weeks. That's a lot of money, for a lot of us. Mm-hmm. So I think I love the fact that you're focusing so much on after school programs, as well as therapy and just counselors, because they really can provide some really good guidance from a position of, not a parental position or anything like that, but just from a third party. Here, let me help guide you a little bit. Yeah. So I love that.
And for example, there is many different ways for us to be able to support our youth. Like, I think they do this in Tucson in one high school, if I'm not mistaken. You might I learned this about like 2-3 years ago, where in one of the schools they do kind of talk therapy, but they do it outside when they're like with plants, for example.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great. The connection with the earth, it's great for our youth. It's great for our mental health, you know. So one of the reasons why I decided to run, I actually took a break from doing therapy for around 2 years because I was doing my clinical hours in America.
Okay.
And there was not talk therapy in the world that was going to be able to help my patients because they were dealing with them not being able to sleep. Like, if you cannot sleep, you're not going to be able to function.
Nope.
They couldn't afford to buy food for their homes. They weren't feeling safe in their homes either. And the psychiatrist that I had on staff will quit every other week. So I was just going in circles. Like, I was like, I cannot help my patients. I was depressed. I was anxious.
Yeah.
So I was like, I decided to take a break because I was so extremely tired. And then on top of that, after I graduated, I got offered a job where they were going to be paying me way less of what I was making.
Wow.
So I took my break, and then I started doing some like trainings and doing more advocacy, civic engagement. I became a citizen because before that I was involved mainly in providing social services, but I didn't want to advocate much because I didn't have a job. And I was scared of losing my legal status, right? But once I became a citizen, I was like, this is my time.
Time to shine. Yeah.
It's your country.
And then that's when I realized that the only way that I was going to be able to help my community was by running and by making those laws that will be able to help them grow.
Can I just tell you real quick? I'm so impressed with you and folks like you because the process that you had to go through to become a citizen is so difficult and costly. And it's something that people like myself and Marcus were just handed simply because we were born here. So I think that makes what you're doing and where you're at right now just so much more impressive. So like I'm just severely impressed with you and what you're bringing to the table, why you're running. I mean, you truly are the American dream that people think about. You came here from another country trying to do something better with the intentions of possibly going back. But here you are all these years later, and now you're running for office here. So, I mean, that to me is the American dream. So it's great.
But it also speaks to character. I mean, when you and I think that's what we need more of, leaders with characters. You know, Lisbeth, everything you went through, you know, it would have been good enough to say, hey, I made it through. Let me go on and live my dream and live my best life. But you reached back and you're helping people coming behind you navigate that process. I mean, that speaks to, you know, your character and the type of character that we need out of our leadership.
100%.
I think that's important. I think it's important. But I also want to switch gears now and talk about environmental justice. I mean, I know that seems like we can call it a niche issue to most people. Some people don't even care about it or think about it. You know, like here in Georgia, we have issues with our water, PFAS, and things like that. And in this part of Northwest Georgia, you know, how do we make the case to voters who don't immediately see environmental issues affecting them, like climate change and water shortages? How do we make them start caring about things like that? I know that's one of your issues as well, Elizabeth.
So interesting enough, this was not in my plan to have this as one of my issues, but while I've been speaking with my neighbors, this is the concern that they have. So that's why I decided to add it and to educate myself more on what it means, right? What it means to do more justice for our environment. I did work with the American Lung Association in one project on educating the community on the air quality. And so people are worried about, for example, how hot it's getting here in Arizona, especially in our district. And then the other one, they're very worried about air quality, like allergies. We didn't have this much bad allergies like we do now.
Yeah, it's bad now.
Yeah, this lady was telling me I go outside for a walk to relax, and I come back with
eyes are red.
Yep. Feeling super sick. Your skin gets worse, and of course, like, man, people are getting sick because one day is super hot and then the next day is super
it's 35.
Yeah,
that's what's going on here in Georgia now. So.
Yeah. So those are the conversations that I've been having with people. We also the electricity is another issue.
Yes.
Like the bills keep on, and these are the, like, if it hurts your pocket, you're going to be able to have those conversations with people.
Yep.
Don't worry about how, like, their electricity bills keeps on increasing, and during the winter you don't have to turn on your AC. Now I started turning on my AC, I think, in January because of how hot it was.
Mine's on now.
Yeah, mine is on right now, actually.
Mine too.
Yep.
So yeah, people are very invested in these conversations, and people do want to know. People do want to advocate, and people, I think this is something that I'm very excited about it, like, to be honest, because like, what's gonna be for the next generation? There's not gonna be.
We don't have any water; it won't matter.
Yes.
And again, for those listening who maybe don't live in Arizona like Lisbeth and I do, the water shortage is very troubling and at a dangerous level. There's, I believe it's either 4 or 5 states that we all share pretty much, the same water sources. And because the levels are so bad, they've started federal water allotments. I believe that started like 3 years ago. Don't quote me, but go look it up. So we are on federal water shortages here. Well, if we don't start taking climate change seriously or figuring out why that is, it's not going to magically replenish itself. So we really do need to get serious about the water issues, because if we don't, and if you don't think it's climate change causing this, it's probably why you voted for Trump.
And I'll tell you, they live in Arizona, but we're having water issues here in Georgia, shortages of water, for development type things. And then we've got these data centers wanting to come in and use up more of the water. Take a look at your state and see, where they are on water.
Do you guys have any in your district?
Nationwide thing. Say again?
I was asking Lisbeth if they had any data centers they're trying to set up in your district that you know of.
I don't know.
Because I know we got one.
Surprise.
Yeah, they got one here that we're trying to shut down.
I know there is one in Surprise, and that's what I saw on the news, pretty much. But yeah, like, I don't know if you guys were aware, but actually Maryville and South Glendale is 10 degrees hotter than the east.
Oh, I mean, again, I know because I live here, but just the difference between there and Tucson too. It's
it's
crazy.
Because we don't have a lot of green areas. So I was talking to I did meet with a nonprofit that wants to come into Maryville mainly, and they do want to try and reduce the water. So they want to find ways to. We need to do that. Yeah.
And we know it can be done. I mean, nuclear reactors pretty much use recycled water. I mean, we just need to. It's like I try to explain to people with the EVs. They're like, EVs is doable. We just refuse to build the infrastructure to make them viable. But remember cell phones? Cell phones used to be a block. They came with a nickel metal hydride battery that was 2 times the size of our current phones, and the batteries would last for 20 minutes, and you'd have to plug it back in. But this magically thing called technology advances over time, and we get better, and things get smaller. Just like 1 gigabyte or 1 terabyte used to have to be an entire building. Now it's on a little thing that I can carry around.
Exactly.
EVs are going to progress. They're not going to go away, and we need to get serious about building the infrastructure. And the fact that we don't have solar panels on every single house and building here in Arizona, I will never understand it. It's probably because a bunch of rich people don't want us to have free energy. So with that, I just want to ask, the Arizona clearly needs to balance economic development, jobs, and industry with protecting communities from all the environmental issues and harm that we're talking about. Knowing that, do you have any ideas on where we might be able to begin at the state legislature?
When it comes to economic development?
Well, just balancing. Oh my God.
From environmental harm.
Yeah.
Protecting the community.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, I keep trying to explain to people, AI isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
No.
For example, I use AI daily to do everything from summarize a news story to help me edit my videos.
We're all going to have to learn to use it and figure it out.
I don't go make these stupid videos and pictures like Elon and them do. So I keep trying to get, like, boycotting AI altogether is not going to work. And it honestly makes us sound stupid. Now, what we do need to do is what you just said, is we need to get serious about, if we're going to build these data centers that are required, we just need to start coming up with a way that it's not going to use as much water, or it's going to use recycled water or some kind of fluid, whatever. We just need to get serious about, okay, we see the problem. Now, how do we fix it to keep this technology? Because I promise you, everybody, it's not going away. AI is here to stay. It's going to keep developing. And if you don't embrace it at some point, you are going to get left behind. So we need to focus on how to make it more viable and less of an impact on our climate. And so that's what my question is kind of. So keeping in mind that, yes, we need to consider economic development, more jobs, and, you know, all of those things that people run on, especially Republicans. We also need to be concerned with protecting, you know, our districts, our community, our people, the voters. So with that, do you have any ideas where we could make some headway?
I have many ideas. I mean, raise their taxes, you know, and have them invest this money in our communities. Like, you know how you just said about solar panels, right?
Yeah.
Like, be able to bring that money and give it to our community and pay for their solar panels.
Yep.
You know, have parking lot, like have covered parking lots, because during the summer, guess what? You need a parking
100%.
That's covered, right?
And put panels on that too.
Put solar panels in there. Use that energy for something positive. Bring that, like, have them invest in our schools. You know, like, if they have the money, perfect. Let's raise the taxes and bring more money to our communities. Give back, invest.
Let me put a fine point on that. You know, a lot of these companies want to come in and they're going to be huge users of power and water. They want the taxpayers to pay for that. Us, you and I.
100%.
So we need legislation that forces them to pay. We're looking at something like that right now in Georgia as well. Putting that onus back on them. They want to bring their big data centers in and use up all of this power and water, raising our energy costs. They should be paying for that so that it doesn't affect you and I, John Q. taxpayer. I believe that's exactly what you were saying, right, Lisbeth?
Yes. I mean, honestly, to be 100% honest, I'm very new when it comes to all of these. So as we're talking, as I'm doing my campaign, I'm learning. Like I mentioned,
I'm so glad you said that.
Like, knowledge is power. So
it's a learning process.
I've been meeting with organizations. I'm being on the process of, okay, teach me how we can improve these.
Yes.
So I did not know that. So thank you for actually teaching me that today.
See, and the fact that you can sit there and say that and you don't give us a political answer, I freaking love it. No, seriously, because you can always tell when somebody's, like, you know, beating around the bush, or they didn't know what you were talking about, or, you know, they didn't understand whatever it is, and they give you some then you're just like, okay, let's move on. But the fact that you're like, because I felt the same way when I ran, and I'm sure Marcus did too. Like,
it's like drinking water through a fire hose in the beginning.
Yeah, and you don't get into it like magically knowing what to do, you know, and you can't afford a manager off the bat.
It's part of it. You get better as you go. I love brand new candidates, first time candidates, because you're learning the issues. You have your issues that you're passionate about, of course, and you know everything about those. But there's so many issues that come to the table, and that's one of the things, you know, giving grace to our candidates who come in. We're first-time candidates who are new. We're still learning on the job. Doesn't mean they're not going to be great candidates. I mean, even some of the people that you know were first-time candidates at once, like Barack Obama, you know.
Yep.
I mean, Trump still seems like he's a first-time candidate because he hasn't learned anything from, you know, being president twice, but I digress.
Yeah.
Well, He's just a horrible human.
He's
But
never
with
going
that,
to learn. I'll put it that way.
now, with that though, thank you for coming on. The most important is that me. I was like,
Be you.
Sorry, that's me. I
no,
apologize.
that's totally fine. I was on the other day and my landscaper was coming around with the blower at like the worst time possible.
Bye for you.
So, but with that, I just want to say again, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for giving us an hour of your time. If there's anything that we can do besides this, please let us know. But before you go, please tell everybody where they can find you, where they can send some money, learn more about you. Please.
Yeah, so my website is Lisbeth with an S and 4 ac.com. And, you can reach out to me. You can tell me if, you can help me in any way. Host a party for me. Bring your friends, donate water, snacks, like bring us tortas, burritos.
See, you got the...
Oh, he left again.
I think Ryan just watched that. You can go ahead and continue. We're still live, so
Okay.
we didn't lose the stream this
What
time.
is going on?
Yeah, so I know our community wants to help. Show up, can volunteer for me. Those, like I said, like you guys kept on saying, those $5, $7, $10 are so helpful for us.
Yeah.
I have a team that I have to pay. We have to buy like snacks for volunteers. We need to buy more signs, like send text messages, and we cannot do it alone. Like it costs a lot of money, and sometimes we don't have the money to be fundraising because we have to be at the doors talking to people. And that's what I want to focus on. That I want to learn, what are you priorities, what are your concerns, how can I help you, and what can I do for you when I win. So
Your dollars also help Lisbeth give literature to those voters that she's, or potential voters that she's out talking to in the district.
And those that don't open their doors or because they're not
Exactly.
Yes.
They don't open their doors. This is who is here. Vote for me anyway.
Yeah.
That's right.
I've been leaving a note. Sorry, I miss you.
Yeah, we can't just do handwritten notes, guys. We need literature. So please send
That's
Elizabeth
That's
$1,
right.
$2, $5, whatever you can for your Arizona voters in our district. So
Yeah, we've been doing also a texting, like between me, volunteers, and my campaign managers. We have been doing personal text message because it costs.
I'm a texter.
texting program costs a lot of money as well. So
Yeah. You got to pay per text.
Hey, but we're resourceful, and like I said, like if you can come in one day and just help me text people, that's a lot for me.
it's huge.
Amazing. Lisbeth, thank you again. It's amazing having you on. I truly am impressed with everything you've done, and I sincerely hope to see you in our state legislature.
Yes.
Thank
you.
That.
Thank you,
Manifesting
Lisbeth.
it, speak it into existence, but still get out and do the work. It seems
Yes.
like you're doing a great job right now, getting out talking to voters. Godspeed, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Another amazing
Wonderful new
candidate.
I love it.
Sorry for my connection, guys. I'm not sure what's going on, but
These
wow,
things happen.
man. Yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Like I
love
said,
seeing
that
first-time
that's the-
candidates come out and they're learning. Again, people, that's that process of being a first-time candidate. Running a campaign is hard if you've even done
rough.
it before. It's a lot, especially for first-time candidates. You're coming in again. You got the issues that you're passionate about, but then you got to learn all.
Got to
of
learn
the
what
other
everybody.
issues.
Yeah,
You've got to
That's a good way to say it.
got to get up to speed fast. And
Yeah.
just because you're not up to speed on things at the very beginning doesn't mean you're not going to be. Just because you're not a great public speaker in the beginning doesn't mean you're not going to be.
I sucked.
For me, I look for that character. I look for that heart. I look for that servant's spirit, for that person who wants to serve and be there for the right reasons.
Takes a special
Who
person.
want to help people. That's who we need in leadership.
But I really meant what I said. The fact that she was willing, on a show to say, you know what? Thank you. I didn't really know about that. Like that's exactly what you want in an elected official. Not somebody's going to look at you and, BS their way through it, but somebody's going to go, you know what? I didn't know about that. I'm going to go read up on it. And yeah, I'm going to come up with something for that.
But that's the way we came up in the military, though.
Fair point.
You get asked a question, you don't know the answer. I'll have it the next time I see you, or
let me go get my TO and I'll get you the answer. Yep.
Let me get right back to you.
For sure. And that's why I'm glad you said that too, because I think that's probably why I appreciate it.
That's why we get it. I mean, that's just, as NCOs, we taught our soldiers, if you don't know where the answer is right away, or know it right off the top of your shoulder, know where to find it, or just say, hey, I'll get back to you. Don't just say, I don't know. That's what that's what I taught my soldiers. Don't just give me I don't know.
My boss taught me, as long as you have your TO open, even if you mess something up, as long as you had the TO open and you were trying to follow, he's like, I'm good. He's like, if I walk up and ask you about something and you don't have that tech data open, that's your ass. That's
the world we came up in. So
that's right. Speaking of the world we came up in, as an Air Force veteran, what the hell? Erica Kirk getting appointed to the board of the Air Force Academy?
I mean, it's just more ridiculousness, right? I mean, come on. We're looking at an administration that's full of people who are, unqualified.
Incompetent?
They're
unqualified?
They're not
crazy?
Contrary to popular belief, the best and brightest that we have in this administration.
For that.
Trump said he's only going to hire the best people. How many people has he fired or have left?
I'm pretty sure half of them signed their contract with Cran.
That he ran. So, this is just more of the ridiculousness. Erica Kirk.
Ridiculousness and distractions. That should be on his headstone when that time comes. The king of ridiculousness and distractions. Speaking of distractions, have you seen the videos that they're posting on the White House social media?
I try to stay off of that.
That's probably a good idea. I think you and Lisbeth are on the right track. Me, unfortunately, I like to torture myself and watch the propaganda.
You do it so I don't have to, brother. I appreciate that.
Exactly. That's why you're going to live longer than me. But no, if you haven't, I challenge you all, if you're on social media, go to the Instagram, go to Twitter, go to the official White House page. Not my page, not somebody else. The official White House page that other countries follow to see what the heck is going on in our country. Go check that out for yourself and just come back in the comment section and tell me if you think that's normal. Tell me if you think playing Call of Duty kind of videos to, for war porn, or trauma porn as I like to call it.
Yeah.
Like, we should not be celebrating what we are doing and what has happened up to this point. Like, we have literally martyred the leader of Iran, and now is it his brother or son is stepping up?
His
son. Thank you.
Who, by the way, and we touched on this a little bit last week.
We did.
What comes next? Who comes next? And now you got a more hardliner. Not only is he more hardline than his father,
that you've just
but you wiped this guy's entire family out, basically.
Thank you.
You killed his dad, you killed his wife, one of his brothers, or if I'm not mistaken, more family members.
And if you're like me,
now you got a hardline who even more radicalized by killing his family. Now he's in charge. And we talked about that there was going to be a mechanism in place for them to put someone else in charge, or they already had that mechanism there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's great to say Iranian people take over your government. It's one thing to say that. It's another thing to actually do it.
And help them achieve it. Speaking of, do you think it's fair to say that we've experienced some mixed messaging on if this is a conflict, if it's a war, if it's over, if it's just beginning? Like, if you're going
to...
Like, if Congress is going to say that Trump is able to do these attacks using war powers, and then literally 5 hours later, Mike Johnson comes out and says, we're not at war, what the fuck is happening? Like, am I stupid here?
They have no clue, which is why we have no clue. They were good at getting us into this mess, or Trump was anyway, by, let's go bomb Iran. Let's go do some regime change.
He sure underestimated them.
At that. They didn't have a clue for what came next.
Nope. Or a
Again,
plan.
we were saying this last week, and it's becoming more and more evident with each passing hour that these guys didn't have a plan.
100%.
They didn't have a plan for what came next.
It's so obvious, man. It's
painfully obvious, and it's embarrassing. Number one,
yes,
not just putting out video game hits on the official page for the White House. That's embarrassing in and of itself. When our allies look at that and say, is this who you guys are? Yeah, it's who we are now.
Yeah,
we're that guy, America. America's that guy.
And then when Trump is asked about things like school being bombed and killing over 130 school-aged kids, 7 to 12, he says, "Oh, I don't know anything about that. Oh, I'm not sure." How is it that anybody is okay with the President of the United States sitting there and shrugging his shoulders saying, "Oh, I don't know. I was just listening to Stephen Miller and Jared Kushner." And that's another thing. Why in the hell is Jared Kushner and Stephen Miller talking with Donald Trump about anything that has to do with the military and strikes on other countries? Can anybody tell me that?
Exactly.
This is insane, people. This is not normal.
It's what's the word we like to use now? Unprecedented.
Jesus, that's going to be the name of our show if we keep it up.
Yeah.
But again, just to put a fine point on what you said, the person that took over in Iran is even worse. And like Marcus
more
just said,
than his dad, which is crazy.
Yeah.
His dad was a super hardliner.
Yeah.
This guy,
it can get worse.
He's on another level. And again, radicalized because you just killed his family. So he's not going to be wanting to talk to anybody anytime soon about anything to do with negotiations or peace talks. It's just not.
So when there's a strike on American soil again,
God forbid.
It's not going to be because of Democrats. Yeah, God forbid. I'm not hoping for it. But this is the type of shit that leads to that. You're martyring somebody. You're giving them somebody to cling on to elevate the cause. You're putting somebody that's an even more hardliner in charge, and now you've pissed them all off. Yeah. That is literally the perfect recipe for...
So they were emboldened by the crap that they pulled in Venezuela enough to the point where they thought, oh, maybe we can pull this off in Iran as well.
Yeah. Speaking of things they've pulled off,
absolutely nothing about geopolitics or strategy or anything.
No.
We've
zero.
What's the saying? Patients have taken over the asylum.
Well, look, here's the thing. If you haven't heard, and I want your opinion on this, because we both run for office, and I think it's always a concern when you're out, campaigning or whatever. But there was an incendiary device that failed to detonate outside of the mayor's mansion in New York City, which, of course, is Mayor Zoran Mamdani. So, we're already seeing civil unrest, and let's call it what it is, domestic terrorism. Because that's what it is.
That's what that is.
That's what
this administration has a problem with.
But they're using this to justify
terrorism.
But you know what I'm saying, bro? Like
when they call people like Alex Preddy and Renee Good domestic terrorists, that doesn't qualify. So they have an issue with that. But
fair point.
An IED outside of the mayor's house,
that's legit terrorism.
That's legit domestic terrorism.
For sure. No, you're right about that. Fair point. But what was your reaction when you saw that? Were you surprised?
I've given it before. I told you when this all kicked off, as it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, you did.
Buckle up. We're in for some turmoil. Yeah. I hate to be so blunt about it and put it that way, but that's.
Well, we're not hoping for it.
I'm not hoping for this.
I
spent a decade in combat zones and hot war zones. I spent lots of time.
But that's why I think people should be listening to you throwing the flag.
And I don't want to see it anymore. But I know the hallmarks that lead up to it.
But we've seen it before.
And I know the signs are harbingers of things to come.
Yeah.
And this isn't looking good for us. So.
No. On any level, using any metric. Like, we are the aggressors. We are the terrorists. We are the enemy. Like, there is no lens that I can view these attacks and say that we, America, was justified in what we did.
No.
And I've yet to find anybody who can give me, personally, a justifiable reason for us striking Iran.
Well, and what makes it even more astounding is that Obama had a deal that the Iranians
signed.
Were not only did they agree to, but they were adhering to.
Thank you.
That nuclear deal, and IAEA or whatever the administration's called that, follows up and does the compliance on that, said, yeah, they're sticking to it. Trump comes in, first term, rips it up.
Yep.
And then starts banging the war drums. And now here we are. In a hot war, kinetic war with Iran. The international community is looking at us like, yeah, you guys are what the actual fuck, America? What are you guys doing now?
Yeah, like what's really going on? Well, I think that makes this next thing a little more interesting too. Trump's pick for top State Department role dropped out Tuesday after being grilled on his comments about white people being the victims of racism.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine that.
On behalf of sane white people, please allow me to apologize for that person's ignorance.
But that's stuff they've said before. A lot of them. He's not the only one that.
The way some white people are able to play the victim, is.
Yeah, they're on that whole Nick Fuentes, Charlie Kirk shit, and it's ridiculous, guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really is.
Go back and look at history.
Yeah.
Tell me why it's white people that are.
Do you think that's what Kristi Noem is saying after she got fired for spending $220 million on a really
victims.
bad campaign?
They're all playing victims. Come on, guys. That's silly.
You know what the worst part is?
I say all the time, the government is serious business for serious people. I just don't see a lot of serious people in this administration.
I don't see any. Anybody in the comments? Do you know a serious person in this administration? Because I don't. Well, and speaking of incompetent people, I thought when we got rid of Kristi Noem that we might have dodged a bullet. And then, literally within 30 minutes, they announced that...
Mark Wayne.
Mark Wayne Mullen.
The guy's a fighter. A literal MMA fighter, but not the kind of fighter.
Yeah, but when shit really goes down, you know what he does? Yeah. He hides behind a pew like a little bitch. Yeah. That's what he does. So all that tough talk, like, I'd love to fight the dude because he's a little... Anyway, just go look at what he did on January 6th. The guy's a coward. I don't want anybody, especially leading DHS, that's a fucking coward that'll do whatever Donald Trump says. He's a loyalist. He'll spout whatever. He said the craziest shit, and he's literally threatened to fight congressional witnesses. Yeah, that's somebody we want heading up DHS.
This guy is over labor. What's his name? The guy from Boston. I think he's from Boston or Massachusetts. Yeah, I've seen the clip.
I can't think of the name.
Or I think I saw it live, where he was challenging the guy to a fight. Like, you want to fight? And the guy wasn't backing down. He was a labor union boss.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, let's go.
His name
that's what I do.
I want to say it's Sean something. Chat, can you give me that name?
He was the union leader, I remember. Yeah. But while we're waiting on that name, again, I probably should... I wish I would have asked Lisbeth this one, actually. So, Arizona... A federal grand jury has ordered Arizona to hand over records from the 2020 election to the FBI.
Sean O'Brien's his name. Yeah.
Sean O'Brien, thank you. Right. Now, Why?
Teamsters. Yeah.
Like, first off, who's running this grand jury? Like, who's the prosecutor that put this in front of the grand jury? I would love to know how you framed this to get them to sign off
Well, first of
on
all,
getting the ballots from the 2020 election.
they're taking these things to courts and judges who they know are going to sign off on these things. It's crap
To set a precedent, 100%.
in Georgia.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and if you think these judicial nominations don't mean anything, people, they do.
Oh, yeah.
They do. And these guys are playing the system perfectly to do stuff like this. This is illegal as hell, and it should be shot down. But, we've got
Chris May, I believe Chris Mays and Katie Hobbs are fighting giving it to him, but I think the Republican, what was it? I think the Senate leader, I think he already signed off. It, like you said, it was a complete loophole how they got him. But before I ask you the question I want to ask you, I just want to remind folks of how stupid and what a waste of time and taxpayer dollars it is. The 2020 election here in Arizona was gone through with a fine-tooth comb by a company called Cyber Ninjas. It went on for 9 months.
Same thing in Georgia.
It was ridiculous. But when it was all said and done, they found less votes for Donald Trump, more votes for Joe Biden, and no widespread voter fraud.
And it was even more ridiculous with the Cyber Ninjas. I mean, because our state did did the audits and they did recounts here.
Oh yeah, they took the Arizona ballots out of state, took them to Colorado to a fucking really
looking for bamboo shoots and things like that. I don't know what the hell they were looking for.
So dude's in the White House right now, and the only reason that they're still going for the 2020 election is because they're going to use it as one of the reasons for sending ICE to the ballot boxes.
They want to affect 2026.
And the way that you know that, Marcus, is who did they give? Or who are they giving these Arizona ballots to?
What are these guys called?
The Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, where in the FBI's mission statement?
It is not.
You're not even going to let me finish the question.
It is not.
It is not.
It is not. It is not. Full stop.
Marcus, when you let me finish it?
Nothing to do with what their job is. Cash Patel is the second man. So yeah, Trump wants
and
to
DHS as well. DHS is investigating it.
And
they're looking for the next targets. That they're doing so many bad crooked things, which is just another reason why you should support the Democrats running for office here in Arizona. Because we need to get liberals in office that will stop all this nonsense.
Leadership matters, as our good friend Sean Harris says.
It does. It absolutely does. And the Save America Act, that's all that this is about. It's all about
voter suppression.
Voter suppression, controlling elections. These are the people actually committing the fraud. And they're doing it right in front of our faces with bullshit justifications. So, yes, say something. Vote for people. Donate to the opposition. Because, really, if we don't want to have a armed conflict between Democrats and liberals in this country, we need to use the ballot box. And that is happening right now as we speak. And we need to use our wallets. So send the money to the candidate you like. Go support them, send texts, phone calls, whatever you are comfortable with, whatever you are able to afford. But check all this crap that we talk about on this
holdthelinepack.org, because we support
that too.
Candidates and
Yes.
multiplier for them to do things that they can't do.
Yep. And I'm going to leave you with two things. One, Donald Trump told us the quiet part out loud on Monday, I believe it was, when he said that 6-year-old girls are of age. Now, he was talking about the SAVE Act and voter ID when he said it. But my question to everybody...
Weird as shit when he said it.
I'm like, so in what context, what added context could I give you that would make Donald Trump, the President of the United States, saying that a 6-year-old is of age of consent an acceptable comment to make?
No, the content creators had a ball with that, but it was just weird.
Oh, mine went off for almost 1 million views.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, we've got crazy sexual predators running this country right now, and we need to get them out of office. And anybody that thought Donald Trump and this administration was going to be the anti-war, anti-corruption, administration, hopefully now you see that you were conned, and this dude is literally running the country into the ground because he's an 80-year-old man that knows he's probably not going to see 85, and he doesn't give a shit. And he's setting up everybody that ever gave him or was loyal to him before he goes. And I still think they're going to find a way to get him a pardon on his way out the door like Nixon. So that's where just say it. I'm just saying it now. If he makes it to the end.
Well.
And the Democratic National Convention. Support that. The Democratic National Committee is suing the administration.
DNC.
So they're not just sitting back. They're not getting the information they requested. They've submitted Freedom of Information Act paperwork, and they've gotten no response from the federal government. So now they're suing them. So the Democratic Party isn't just sitting back doing nothing. There are lawsuits and things going through the court system that they are spearheading, and they are important. So
I do want to remind people, and
Please.
I say things like, yeah, we need to fight a little bit differently than we have been in the past, but there are processes that you have to go through. You do have to go legal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's the difference between us.
Things.
Fighting differently doesn't mean fighting illegally.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Our messaging needs to be different. Our approach needs to be different. That's what that means to me. It doesn't mean that we're going to break the. Yeah.
But I hear the statement all the time. Democrats. What are Democrats doing? They're not doing anything.
Hell, I've said it.
Fight back. Need be more punchy. Yeah, there is a legal mechanism that has to be used in order to fight some of these things. And yes, as we know with the legal system, it can take time. The wheels of justice
and be flawed.
They're slow, but they do grind effectively, which is why Trump has 34. He's a 34 count convicted felon. Should have been a lot more than that, but
yep. And I just want to remind everybody
a few places where he had his hand-picked judges running things, and which is why he's not in prison somewhere. So
yep. And it's also worth noting that Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has a longer criminal record than 95% of the people that DHS is trying to deport. And with that, I wanted to give a quick shout out to Clawson, Michigan Councilwoman Heather Rinkovich. I grew up in Metro Detroit, and Clawson was the city right next to ours. And a lot of people I went to high school with, ended up living there. So she's a woman over there doing the work, and she decided that she was not going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance for her own reasons, which she explained during the most recent city council meeting. And it blew up in a lot of their faces because her husband's a disabled vet, dad's a veteran. They tried saying she doesn't love the country, and she put them in their place. But she's still getting a lot of death threats. Her family's getting harassed. So I just wanted to give a special shout out, say, we see you fighting the good fight, and you are not alone. And hopefully we can have you on the show here sometime soon.
And one of the things I want to say in response to that, I guarantee you a lot of those same people who are sending her death threats are the same people that will say to a service member, "Thank you for your service." But you know what? That rings hollow to me. It means you don't understand what it was that we served for. We served to give people the freedom to make those type of decisions, to not stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, to burn a flag if they want to. We swore to support and defend the Constitution, whether it's behavior that we agree with or not.
Yep.
That's what it means to be free.
And the minute we lose that,
we're no longer the United States of America. We're something else.
Well, with that, everybody, that's our show for today. Thank you for tuning in to see Lisbeth for AZ. Please go check her out. Donate if you can. Volunteer if you're here in Arizona. And thank you, brother, for all the work you're doing. We had a great night last night with Sean Harris and some other candidates that the PAC supports. So let's keep this momentum going, guys. Let's keep supporting Sean Harris. We can win this seat. It's a few weeks away. Let's stay focused. Let's keep pushing. And here in Arizona, we've got a lot of work to do, but I believe if we can somehow manage to take the state legislature here by electing people like Lisbeth, that we've got a good shot at keeping the mayor, the AG, and if we get the state legislature, we can do some good things. We got a good shot. So with that, I'll leave you as I always do with much love. Keep fighting, but most importantly, y'all stay safe out there.
Godspeed, everybody.